catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
Hey. I'm going to bring you back on up because I got to introduce you right. How y'all doing today? Listen, welcome to Storytime. It's that time again, y'all. I'm excited, and you see my guest is excited too, but I can't just have her pop up in here with me. I got to make sure I got to introduce her because, you know, she be on the runway and she be doing her thing, so we got to do this thing right. We are so excited tonight because I have an individual that I know personally, and anytime I have somebody that I know personally, it is always a blessing, you know. But first, what I want to ask you guys to do is get ready to share. Get ready for story time. Story time is a time where it's going to be
it's
about
your girl, Lady J, and I'm proud to say we love
Lady J.
Lollipops.
She be cutting up. Lady J, you know what? We're gonna get rid of
change with the chance to thrive.
She don't know how to stop. But listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you don't know who Lady J is, y'all gotta look her up. Now, she's a hip hop artist, and she got noticed by the city of Raleigh this year, and she is amazing. And she wrote that jingle for me, so I'm so excited. And sometimes she just cuts up, but we're not gonna let her interrupt our show tonight. So what I was about to say before I was interrupted by Lady J is please get ready to share this live. All right. It's story time, and story time is where human beings connect, and we talk about life experiences. So I want to ask you to like, share, and comment. It's normally at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays and Sundays. And if you think you have a story, then DM me and say, listen, I have a story. And while you're here, we want to ask you to do us a favor. We want to ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay? And we also want to ask you to share this broadcast with about 5 friends. All right? It's going to be pretty amazing tonight. So tonight I have a young lady. I want to tell you a little bit about her. She is a young lady from Dominican Republic. And if you saw what I had up here, I'll show you again. This is the picture of her. And she lives here in North Carolina. I have the pleasure of knowing her personally. And Karina is a sweetheart. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's a model, and she has a story to tell. So we want to bring her up so she can give you that story. But before we do, I just want to let you see her work, see a little bit of what she has done out there on the runway. All right. Check her out. Now, here's just a couple of pictures that I have. Look at that. Look at her. And she was supposed to be shy at one point, depressed, and had anxiety at one time. Does that look like somebody who was shy, depressed, or had anxiety to you? You tell me. Does that? Okay. I don't think so. Not at all. Beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. So without further ado, I want to bring her up here. I want you to see the young lady herself, and I'm going to have her come on in the room. Karina, are you there, girl?
I am here, and I am so excited to be on your podcast. Finally,
now slide over to me to your right.
Wait.
Okay, there you go. A little bit more. How you doing, honey? There. Yay.
It's been a day. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. It's a good day, but it's been a day.
But you know what? It's like that sometimes. And you know what? I tell people to keep hope alive. But I love it when you say that because this is about life experiences, right? So we're going to keep it real in here today. All right. We're going to let people know that life be lifing. Okay. That be lifing for real.
And
so I mean, that's it. A mother with a whole husband, 2 children, a job, and a modeling career. Of course, life happens, right? So
Yeah.
before we get started, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell the people a little bit about who is Karina.
Well, I mean, you already pretty much said I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, and I moved here from Boston, Massachusetts. I'm gonna say 8 years ago, and I've been here in North Carolina, and I stumbled into modeling. And from there, I used to do theater in high school, and I've done theater with Eric Swindell of Swindell Entertainment. And then, of course, I gotta give my love to Keith Powell from the Keen Entertainment also, because he has done movies, and I've been able to do movies with him. And now I'm on Tubi, Amazon Prime, and like in a plethora of other movie platforms where he has his movies. So I've been in magazines. I work with Vivici, so I've had the opportunity of doing some what you call like commercials for like New York Life Insurance. I keep forgetting the burger place. PJ, what's the name of that burger place? But just to name a few, like we just landed an ad with the CDC recently. Advil, I have Advil campaigns. God, there's so many. I need to take notes because sometimes I actually forget of all the things that I have accomplished while being here in North Carolina. I mean, I post about it here and there, but sometimes it's just like, okay. I've been published in magazines and things like that, and it's fun and I'm grateful, but it's not easy.
Yes, but you know what I love? I love that you came out here as your natural self. I love because we looked at you. We just saw the pictures, right? We
Yes.
see you when you get on the stage like this. We see you when you come out like this. All right. We see all of the glam and the glitter, right? But you came out here today and said, hello, this is the real me. This is,
Yeah.
and so many women can't do that. So many women, when they're camming up on lives, they won't show themselves because they don't know and they don't love themselves. Now, as far as you doing what you do on the camera, a wise man once said, if a person has a talent and they don't use it, then they fail. You know, you don't fail if you attempt to use it and you're not at the level you want to be. But if you don't use it at all, that's failure. So I'm glad that you're out there using it. And before we bring your partner in life, because I know I heard you talk to PJ Preston, your husband, for over 20 years, I know, and the father of your children, I know that he has joined you on the stage. But before we get into that, I want to ask you some things. Tell me about when you were a little girl. When you were a little girl, did you think that you would be doing all this?
No, absolutely not.
So did you dream of being a model?
No, I love animals. I wanted to be a vet.
Wow.
I wanted to
Wow.
be a
So
vet.
you wanted
Yeah.
to be a veterinarian.
Yes.
So you are a person that I read somewhere that you actually had a gastric bypass surgery.
I did.
So
I did.
talk to me
And
about what led to that. What age was you when you did it and why you decided to do it?
and I'll even add to that. So of course I also had a mommy makeover 2 years ago. But but my childhood really was, I grew up in the Dominican Republic. My mother kind of, she had to leave me behind, get me here. I came to this country, 86, I think, 86, 87. And my childhood here, I'm going to say I had everything I needed. Again, had things, but my childhood was still troubled. It still lacked love. But as I'm understanding now, my parents gave me what they could give me. But that took a long time to realize. And I am about to be, 44 years old
Wow.
this summer. And it has taken me on several healing journeys, of which I'm still on. I'm still learning. I'm still healing. Because what I've been doing is healing little Karina.
Wow.
So to get to the gastric bypass portion, of course, my high school was good. I loved going to school. I did a lot of theater. I did acting. I did dancing. Um, but of course, my house was, my home was troubled, and I ran away. I wasn't the exemplary child that most people would think that I was. But it was because I was running, right? I was running. And then, of course, I met my husband in 98. And, and we've been together ever since. But after I had my son, it was hard to balance life, work, momhood, and then dealing with the strongholds of, I'm going to say, a toxic parent, because I'm
Wow.
not,
So
but
how old was you when all this happened? What was the age at that time?
So I was 19 when I had Latrell. But being in a toxic environment and not knowing you're in a toxic environment, if that makes sense, puts you in a mental space of people pleasing, because that's what I was in a way subconsciously bred to do, to people please, but never really please myself or love myself, right? So I ate my emotions away. I did. And before you knew it, I had 2 kids and I was 336 pounds with no energy, with severe back pain, which I still suffer from today. And one of the reasons that I had the gastric bypass was to, one, live longer. I had a pseudo tumor in my brain that was causing me to go blind. And
Wow.
I wanted to, obviously be there for my children and see my children grow, right? And I had the gastric bypass in 2010, but I had the gastric bypass in July 14th, 2010, but I ended up having a hysterectomy in January 2010. So, I had to deal with with the thought of not being able to have any more children before I even had the gastric bypass. And one of the things that my doctor, Dr. Conant, who I love dearly still to this day, Dr. Conant was one of those doctors, once you go through kind of like the medical mental aspect of the surgery, because one of the things that I think that made at least mine somewhat successful is that I had the psych eval, right? And they found out that I was a depressed person and that I suffered from anxiety. And the doctors wanted to medicate me then. And I refused to take any kind of antidepressants. Again, no knocking anyone who is on them or anything like that, but I wanted to deal with my issues head on. And I had to dig, and again, still digging, but again, at that time, I had to dig deep into little Karina and to figure out what triggered the eating, right?
Wow.
And once I figured that out, that took about 8 to 9 months of therapy with Dr. Conant, and then I was cleared for surgery.
Wow.
So I had to get cleared for surgery. So and here I am now. It'll be 14 years this year that I've had this surgery. And most people by this time have gained all their weight back. And again, it doesn't mean that you don't go up and down, because right now I'm 20 pounds heavier, but again, I still suffer from depression here and now and then. I still have anxiety. The difference is now I'm more aware
Yes.
of it, right? And I still have a therapist to this day.
So that's why you put it in present tense, because I put it in past tense with what you're saying, that you still go through this. And you know what? It's good for you to be able to admit that. Sometimes people try to act like everything is okay and they don't have those situations no more. So the first way that you handle something is to acknowledge it. So I thank you for acknowledging it. Now, I hear you talking about your husband. I want to meet him. I know he's somewhere around there. We're in DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, she don't do this by herself.
Hey.
Okay, he's coming in. I think he's coming in on his own device.
He's literally on the other side of the house. So before
okay, he's coming.
I think he's in the bathroom. I think he's in the
Okay,
bathroom. But
okay. Coming to the
let me
stage. DJ, are
let
you
me
ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, man. Give me a thumbs up. I see you. There he go. Jay.
look.
All right. How you doing,
In his
sir?
throat.
I'm good.
Listen, come over a little bit to the middle so you can meet us in the middle. So we can, the other way. Mr. President, I am so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the power couple on the stage right here. Let me show y'all a sneak peek of what they
The
do.
struggle is real, though.
Let me show y'all a sneak peek of what they do when they do what they do. All right. When they do what they do, they look like this. Okay. They look like this. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. They look like this. Listen, look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that right there. Okay. Look, I'm trying to tell you.
Shout out to Outlet Thrive for the photos.
Wow, man. So let me ask you this. While your wife was going through this phase, because she talked about her phase, but before we go back to her phase, I wanted to bring you in because I felt like it's important because there's a lot of people going through the thing by themselves. And I know that you were an important part of her process that she went through. So first and foremost, welcome to Storytime, and tell the people your name, a little bit about where you're from, and how you met Karina.
Good evening. I'm Uncle P. What else was I supposed to say?
How did you meet your wife, and where are you?
We met at work. I had moved back from Virginia, and I'm from Boston. I moved back from Virginia back to Boston. My auntie got me a job where she worked at this department store called Ames, and I think I met Kay the first day I was there. She was yelling those, being extra loud on a ladder. I had no idea who she was. I just knew she was hella loud. And then from there, we developed a mutual friendship, and we were friends for a long time before even crossing that line. So that's that.
So she got your attention with that loudness, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently so. And so time went on, y'all started dating, and y'all became a couple of parents, married. 20 years later, here you are. Now, before you got here, you watched your wife go through some things. You talked about being depressed and having anxiety. What did that feel like for you? Because a lot of times we watch our loved ones go through things and we can't do anything. So talk to me about where you were mentally as she was going through what she was going through.
We're very different when it comes to handling anxiety and stress and depression and things of that nature. So it was real hard to watch her go through it for the fact of I know what she was going through. I had been through it a lot earlier in my life. So, but I dealt with it in a very different manner. And I had to keep reminding myself, and even now, still remind myself that she doesn't handle things the way I do. I'm really good at cutting stuff off or people off. If you're getting on my nerve or if I'm not feeling a good vibe from you, I'm done. Like, have a great day, no problem. My cutoff game is me, and so I was trying to teach her that so that she wouldn't have to go through a lot of that. So she was trying to pick up on what I was trying to tell her, still going through her situation. So it was hard, but it was a crazy learning lesson to watch someone, go through it and realize that when people say, "Oh, well, if you buy stuff, make people happy," or if you do this, makes people happy, that stuff don't make people happy if they're not happy on the inside. So it takes you on a journey separately from the person that's going through it. And like you said, a lot of times people don't talk about it as being the support mechanism because, especially if you're a male. So normally we just sit in the back and that's we're good. So
Wow.
but it takes a toll.
It takes a toll. So Karina, how did you feel? Did you feel his support?
I've always felt his support, but there were times that I didn't know if he was being supportive or not, because again, when I did not come from a supportive environment, you question if the support that you're getting is real or not. right? Or you think of it as, well, he's my husband. Of course he's gonna say I'm pretty. Of course he's gonna say I look fine. Of course he's gonna say you look great or you're doing great. So sometimes it didn't feel. It could have been. It might have been genuine, but in my mind, it didn't play that way because I was still seeking the validation from my core.
Well, let me ask you this, and do me a favor, move up some to the camera for me. So apparently you found it because you out here in your natural state with your natural face, with no makeup, no jewelry, and you are comfortable in your skin. So that speaks volume for someone who came from where you came from. Now, how did you get there?
With the makeup and stuff?
With everything, just being confident and being able to be yourself. Because again, this is so important because again, when people are used to seeing you like this picture, made up like this, and you can be comfortable coming out. The average person will come out and be like, okay, I got a show, I need to get right, I'm gonna do this. But when you came out and said, hey, I'm home, I just got from work, I'm relaxed, I'm here, this is me. Hey, you want to hear my story? I'm about to give you my story. And I love that because society doesn't do it. Karina, they put on such a show and you're giving us the real deal. So how did you get to be like that?
Well, I mean, I never really wore makeup. Never did. I wore makeup on my wedding day, but I was never really the kind of person to wear makeup. It was never really my thing. And one of the things that the therapist had said at the time, do things that make you feel pretty. And, at the time, I didn't do the makeup stuff. I did like my nails, my hair. I would go waxing because, trust me, these brows were never waxed prior to surgery. I never really loved on myself or took care of myself. So in that journey, I started learning how to take care of myself. And then after the surgery, when I felt that I looked, for me, that I looked pretty, then I picked up makeup. And I was self-taught watching, YouTube videos. And in time I've gotten, if I go back to look at my hideous makeup, pictures and stuff like that, I've come a long way, but
yes,
I still feel good this way because
that's what I'm saying. Now, Uncle P, talk to me because the ladies need to hear this. So you have a model for a wife. You have a young lady that you watch on the stage, all made up and do everything. And then when she comes home, she's her natural self. And a lot of ladies today, they just don't feel comfortable. They feel like they're adding eyelashes and you see what's going on in society today. What can you say to the ladies about how a man feels about a natural woman?
I mean, I'm not going to take away anybody's thing that makes them feel pretty. But don't focus too much on it because a lot of that extra stuff that women do, we don't like, and we make fun of it, and it sucks because a lot of these women, they're very pretty women, but they get so caught up in the hype of got to have this and that. Like, just be yourself. If you got a flat butt, then be the cutest flat butt woman you can be. Like, enjoy yourself because if you're not loving on yourself, then it's going to be even harder for you to love on somebody else. So you'll be trying to keep up with the Joneses. Listen, I'm 270, 5'10". I got the Al Bundy butt and gut. Don't bother me near bit. Now, I can be a little healthier now, but I'm the first brother at the pool, no shirt on. I ain't wearing no T-shirt. You got to be comfortable in what you're in. You got to work what you got. And you got to be understanding. And a lot of women keep doing the caterpillar eyeballs and stuff. Come on now. If you put something the size of this on top of your damn eyeball, that you ain't gonna look like a fool. Or wearing clothes. I don't mind women wearing clothes that make them feel comfortable, but don't force it. Because as soon as someone looks at you, then you're gonna have attitude. Why are you looking at me? Because you poking on, shorty. Like, you come on, be a woman. To me, a woman's comfortable in their own skin, wherever they want, but also they understand what they're wearing. not just out there trying to, make a statement. Oh, I'm thick, I'm big, and I can just wear whatever a smaller person can wear. Yeah, you can, but you're not going to look the same. So therefore, don't be surprised if you catch somebody's eye or someone says something. So be aware of your presence, and command and respect yourself. So once you start showing respect for yourself a little bit, that positive energy will leak on no matter what you got on or what your eyebrows look like or how long your hair is. Don't make a difference.
So
But
I need you to say one more time for the people in the back to the ladies. So what I'm hearing you say is the men, they love it if you just be in your natural self. Stop worrying about all the extra stuff. Stop worrying about the examples we see on the TV and all that stuff. Just
yeah,
yourself.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you have to get cosmetic surgery, do it for yourself, and I mean health wise. I mean, if you got small busts and you want bigger busts, go on and bust up, do your thing, but don't make that your identity. This, that's an attribute to what you are, because before you had the money to get the bust swole up, you were still going out on dates. You still were fitting in regular clothes, So, if that's something you want to do, then take care of yourself. That by all means, but it's not required as much as people think it is.
Wow. So what I would say is, Karina, you have children, right? What, you have sons or daughters?
We have one of each.
Wow. Whose personality do they have, mom or dad?
Nyla, who's the baby, she takes over her daddy. She is straight Uncle P all day. Latrell is on a world of his own. I think he's a little more like me in a sense.
Yeah, he's sensitive like you.
Yeah. My son is more like me in a sense. He's an early bird. He gets up, he goes to work. He stays to himself. He does have his passions and his joys with his cars and his little Fast and Furious crew. His demeanor he's shy, but of course he had his disabilities growing up as a young boy, but he's just, I'm going to call him a slow developer. My daughter, on the other hand, she's very headstrong. She kind of knows who she is, and she knows who she is,
Wow.
Now I want you to come over some more to the right. I need you to come over some more to the right.
As her daddy's. I personally, I give too much. Sometimes I share too much. I give way too much, even when people don't deserve it. But it comes from, the little Karina when, she didn't have anyone. So I don't want people to feel like they don't have anyone,
Right.
And if they share some things with me, I'll share some things with them. Has it bit me in the ass in the end? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I need you to come back to the right some more so you can be in the middle. I need you to be in the middle with Uncle P and not the other way. There you go. So talk to me about when you started modeling and how you felt when your husband joined you on that stage, because I know that had to be something.
Oh God. Well, so I'm going to give a big thanks to Nicole Shields, because I started modeling with her at the church. She was like, "Hey, Karina, you have a good sense of style. Would you like to be in my fashion show?" And I was like, "Sure." By this time, now I thought, I try to always do new things and see where it takes me. Of course, I've done the Zumba. I've been a Pilates instructor. I had my own studio back home and things like that. And I taught classes here for a little while, for a few years. But modeling was not, and I mean not, on my radar. But of course, the first time that I did, a show with Nicole Shields, it was cool, and then of course, I started doing makeup with her. I worked with her and Tim Johnson at the BBU Awards and did, a few more shows with her. And then from there, I got an agent. I'm not with the agent anymore, but, I got an agent and I started modeling through COVID, really. Even though I started modeling in what was it, 2018? Yeah, it was 2018, 2019. But then I got picked up by the agent in 2020 before COVID hit, right, in January. And of course, things were like a dead stick, but I did do, I think it was just 2 shows in 2020, and then 21, that's when it all picked up, and I was yesing everyone, right? Because of course I'm on this little modeling high, and I got the glitter in my eyes, and I'm excited about this new journey that I thought was, pretty awesome, very cool. And to be honest, my husband really wasn't happy about it, because again, it took me out of the house. It put me in a different environment that, one, he's not used to seeing me in. And those were the times that, in a marriage, you're at odds, because I'm in the middle of trying to find joy. The kids are older, the kids are more independent, and at that moment you're just thinking, you know what, let me just do me for a little bit, so we bumped heads at that time, because at that moment you're like, wait, I'm following joy, I think this is cool, I'm having a good time, I think it's bringing in some different vibes in the house, but we just kept fighting through it, and
Well, how did you finally begin to accept it, Preston? When did you know that this was meant to be for her, and when did you start to think that it was okay, and you started to support her more?
I never stopped supporting her. I support in the way that I support. I'm not a yes person. You keep saying yes, so people keep asking, do this, do that. What the hell, to me, what the hell are they doing? Why are you doing all this extra stuff? Why you gotta rip and run? How come they're not paying you for this and that? I'm logical. That's me.
So
you don't
want her to get
understand.
paid. He getting you the money, boy. You need to have him as a manager for real.
She wouldn't, she's like, oh, you're too mean, or you're a jerk when you come in, or you're not smiling. I don't need to smile at these damn people. I don't know them, don't care for them. You're here to do a job and then leave when you get done. I'm not impressed by those people.
I can remember when I first met you. He has that demeanor. He gonna come in. He's coming in. He's staying around. He's your protector. When they say men are your protector, he comes in like the protector, and nobody not gonna mess over you when he's there.
And let me tell you, I didn't see his protection. I didn't see it. I swear to God, I was like, you straight hating, bro.
He got a straight face, and it's like, okay. I would be curious to know how did he win you over, because y'all have two different kinds of personality. You got the bubbly personality, and he's strict. Mm-hmm. So how did he get your attention? I know how you got his, but how did he get your attention?
He made me laugh, and still does to this day. Again, coming from an environment that was always kind of gloomy and doomy, not a lot of joy. He brought a lot of joy to my life, and that's kind of like, we were really good friends. Again, still are. We're good friends, and I love being around him. So of course, at the time, I'm 18 years old. I'm hanging out with some friends, and I'm like, you know what? You just come tag along with me, and come to those little house parties and stuff. Again, 98, 99. And then, things got really tumultuous in my home. And I just said, you know what? I hate to say it like this, but I said, fuck it. I'm leaving. And he's like, where you going? I said, I don't know where I'm going. I'll call you from where I'm at. And we've been together ever since. I mean, if you look at it, we were dating at that point, but, I never, ever in my life saw my future with Uncle P at all. That was never a plan, anything like that. And and again, you're talking 20, almost, it'll be 26 years this year.
Wow.
That we've been together, and we've grown apart, grown back together, grown apart again, because again, you evolve, and I don't want to say that you change, but you do, because the core of you remains the same, but but you do change. And I'm blessed and thankful that he has been with me and stuck by me through these changes, through the good, the bad, as blunt as I'm gonna say, the fucking ugly. You know, I mean, there's been times where we weren't at odds. We were not, you know, we were not on the same page. And I've made my mistakes, big mistakes, and to still be married to him and him still standing by me is nothing but a blessing. I mean, some people know, because like I said, I've shared my stories with people. Some people that deserve to know, some people that do not deserve to know my story. But I share my story because I want to tell people that God still loves you, even though you're not perfect. Even though you're not perfect, you know, God will still bless you as long as you remain pure at heart, like without malice. Because again, I'm not here to tell people that I'm perfect. I'm not. That have I been stupid? Absolutely. Have I not valued myself in some cases? Absolutely. Have I given people too much of myself? Absolutely. And I'm learning that not everyone values you.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. So tell me about the date that he hit the runway. How did that happen?
So with Uncle P, he always made it look like, oh, it's easy. Oh, I can do it. And I'm like, dude, it's not that easy. And maybe it's because he's a guy, you know, because I think, you know, with male models, as at least in this industry and here in North Carolina, it's not like there's a plethora of male models out there, you know, doing their thing. So of course it's easier for him to hit the runway than it is a woman, you know. And of course with women, you know, you are fighting against obviously the younger, beautiful girls, you know, the generation, and you know the way they walk, the way they, you know, the way they are. So it adds another level of pressure to women, especially us mature women. You know, you wanna, I don't want to call it competing, but you want to fit in a sense, you know, in a world that, you know, caters to beauty, but young beauty. And sometimes I feel that, you know, some, either whether, I don't want to say designers, but the market really is in, I'm going to say, in the more mature women. Why? Because we got the money, we got the jobs. So you definitely want to focus on us more because we're the more stable generation than the 20 somethings or the, you know, the younger.
That wasn't the question. That wasn't the question.
Whatever, go ahead.
You diluted a classic woman dilution. She asked you a simple question. And now we got to go all the way around the block. So this is what happened. So when she first did her model thing at the church, she didn't know, she didn't know how to do it. Whatever. I'm like, oh, that's easy. And so I was showing her how to walk because I'd done it before when I was younger, way younger, you know. So I would always tell her and her friends, I'm like, you guys are stressing out over nothing. Yeah. It's not a big deal. And they'll, how come you don't do it? I said, because I don't like the way the industry's set up. I don't like, you know, I'm not a yes person. Ain't nobody gonna be talking to me crazy. You need to hurry up and do it because you're gonna get popped. You know what I'm saying? So her and Theo were here at the house before he moved to California. And I said, I don't know what we were talking about. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go for an audition. And they were like, what? And I said, I'm gonna show you how easy it is. I'm gonna go to audition. I'm gonna bag the audition. And I said, then watch what happens after that. And that pretty much set it off. I went out there, I bagged it with no cares, no F's given, nothing. Like legitly just walked, look what everybody was doing, did my own thing, and sat down and got on the phone like nobody was there. And then started banging and started, you know, getting auditions. Because to me, it's supposed to be fun. I'm not going to get all stressed out over something that's not fun. If I'm playing football or something like that, and, you know, I'm going to get stressed out, but it's still fun. And a lot of these models, male and female, especially the dudes, they get all stressed out and nervous and, oh, hey, nigga, go out there and walk, cuz. Just have a good time. That's your 60 seconds of shine, or how long it is. Just go out there and take it in.
So you never got nervous?
For what?
So there was no stage that you went to and was like, okay. Never just, nothing moved you at any point when it came to hitting that stage? It was always like, I'm just gonna go out here and do this, and that's it. And when it's
That's
over,
it. Besides trying not to fall down that one we did last year, because the stage was the stairs and we had to walk down the stairs, but then, they want you to look straight as you're going to die. But other than that, no, because I make it to myself. I don't make it that big of a deal. It's something that I said I'll do, and I'm going to do it. But also going to have fun with it. So while everyone's in the back, most of the girls, women taking care of themselves and all that, I'm sipping. I'm in the back. I'm sipping. I got my radio on. Then the guys are coming. Oh, I don't know how to tie. Oh, man, grow up. Relax.
So, what was it like when you saw that first picture of y'all? Like when you saw the end result, like what was your comment?
I didn't like it. I don't like taking pictures. So I was like, oh, I could have done something better. Or a lot of times I'm like, I like it. I'm simple. I'm like, oh, that works. But my level of acceptance compared to Karina, and she always gets mad. That's all you got to say that's all I got to say. I like it. I ain't got to do a cartwheel or nothing. Shit. It's good. Like, if I eat a good cereal, this is some good cereal. I'm not going to throw the bowl in the air and do a cartwheel, but like my cereal is the best.
I'm an overthinker. I am.
So y'all are definitely like an example of when they say opposites attract. Y'all are definitely opposite. Yeah. So any goals as a couple now that both of you are modeling and both of you have been on some stages, any particular stage that you want to hit or any show that you're saying, okay, baby, now let's go do this?
Well, this year, we've casted Runway of Hope together. We've casted Black Cat together. Hold on, I had to take notes because I literally we're gonna be doing the cruise with the Queensmen in June. Black Cat.
That would be mine. The Queensman is mine if I had to pick. To be out there with the Queensman, yeah, with one half, I'm gonna be outside with a half a t-shirt on.
Okay. So they're gonna see another side of you.
They're gonna see the side that normally people see when the lights are off.
Okay, Karina, are you ready for this? Are you ready for them to see that side?
We auditioned for Winston-Salem. We're still obviously waiting to hear back from that. And then, of course, whenever High Point, because, Gio is doing remarkable things with High Point and High Point Fashion Week. This would be his third year. So, we are looking forward to that audition. I don't know when that's going to be, but I'm sure that's up the pike.
What about out of state? What about out of country? Have you had any desires to want to go abroad?
I would love to go abroad. I would love to go abroad, but again, responsibilities kind of keep you grounded. I work for Duke, so it's not like I can just get up and fly and go.
If they cut a check, I'll catch a flight. They don't cut a check, it's gonna be all right. That's all there is to it. If I gotta come out of pocket, I ain't rocking it. That's all it's going.
Yeah.
So at this point, you've been doing it how many years, Karina?
Well, if you add 2018, yeah.
So you deserve to get a check. You deserve to get a check. Definitely. So did you put together your package? Did you put together a package and put it out there so you could start getting those gigs?
No, I'll be honest, no. Right now I get paid either when I do the shoots with Vivici, and again, those are more commercial shoots. And I've done many, and again, I haven't. I would have to literally go back to my emails and see how many of those I've landed, but at least I've landed at least 10 campaigns, and you get paid a one-time royalty for that. I get paid for the theater shows that I do with Swindell Entertainment. The modeling obviously doesn't really bring any money. If anything, you spend more when you obviously devote, your time, your miles, your gas, your hotel sometimes, and of course the clothing and items that you acquire for these shows. Trouble, get Milo, please. So you spend more modeling than you get back. Of course, what you get back is obviously.
Who got the dog? The dog with him or the dog with you?
No, he's upstairs. That's Milo.
He
Last
got the
time
dog
Milo
with
was
him?
alive, he was on my lap. But you know, with modeling, there's, at least for now, it's not lucrative, but I do it because I love to do it. I mean, I would love for it to pay off eventually. I would love to go to New York one day and work for, a much bigger production. That's a wish, but again, baby steps. Because again, when you are an adult and you are lifing and responsibilities, obviously at first you can't just get up and run and do those things. That's definitely something for obviously the younger, modeling generation, that they're able, if they're still at home and don't have that many responsibilities, so to speak, you're able to kind of shape the life that you want. In this case, this was not the life that I expected to have. So, I make room for it when I can.
He outside. Okay, I see he outside. You outside. If you busy, I'm gonna let you do, because Uncle, I appreciate you coming. If you busy, I just want
I just had to move. I just had to move the car right quick.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll come back to you in a minute. So let me ask you a question, Karina. If there's a woman out here watching this and they want to get in this industry, they want to get on the screen, they want to get casted for a show or for a movie, what would you say to them?
Well, first and foremost, do your research, right? Do your research. As I've learned, not everything that glitters is gold. It's not. You got to start somewhere, but to have a good discernment of where you want to go and who you want to work with is important. Through obviously relationships that I've built, networking, I've been able to, achieve the things that I've achieved. And sometimes you kind of want to give that and share that with some of the, younger people or other people that you think are worthy. But sometimes people really do use you
Yes.
to level up. So, it's such a crabs in the barrel mentality where, people sometimes pretend to be your friend to get information, to level up.
Wow. Well, I can imagine that. Let me ask you this, because I have to get ready to get down to bringing this to a close because the time is going to run out. I want to know, what about the older women who think they're too old and they can't do it? What would you say to the older ladies or gentlemen?
Not true. Not true. I mean, we just had a model who just died at 102 last week, and she was modeling for MAC. So again, you're never too old, even though sometimes I gotta tell myself that, because there are times that I'm in certain rooms and I'm just like, wait, I don't fit in. Maybe again, I may not fit in here, but I could fit in, somewhere else. So I do want to encourage women to, if this is something that you want to do it. Don't, I do a lot of this stuff scared. A lot. Do it scared, because you never know where it's going to take you. You may not be able to go full throttle again, like let's say a younger person would, because again, we're grown, we're mature, we got bills, we got mortgages, responsibilities, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. And I have a lot of mature models on my corner that I know that are phenomenal models, that are great models, and they're doing it. I mean, again, are we all doing it to land in Vibe or, Essence or Own Magazine or, what you call it, Vogue? I mean, we would love all that, of course, but that stuff takes work and we can't quit. And
so now that I have the pictures on there, I want you to go to your left a little bit, because I'm sharing the picture. There you go. So that look right there that you have is just absolutely amazing. I want to tell you, you look beautiful as you are, and naturally, and you look beautiful, because when you do the makeup, when they make you up, they never do too much. I can see the designer always uses you, and they always keep it, even when they do y'all together. And it's a beautiful thing. And I love the fact that your husband has gone out there with you. And
Yeah.
I know that he enjoyed it too. And I'm just so happy that y'all have been able to do this together. I want to ask you because I got about 5 more minutes at the most. Anything that I haven't asked y'all about this industry, about your life, about this journey with the gastro surgery that y'all would like to share that you think would be helpful to the people? I'll start with you, Uncle P.
Well, thank you for having us. I wasn't prepared today. Um, I woke up just to be here, but I wanted to make sure I got here. I think everyone go out there and have fun. Don't overthink it. It's a very sensitive hobby to do, and if it's not making you happy or it's not bringing you joy, don't do it. Step back and see if you can change something for yourself. Don't change for somebody else. Remember, even when the lights are off and everybody goes home, you still got to sit there and look at yourself.
Wow. All right, I
So
appreciate that. That's good. That's
yeah,
good. That's valuable information. You have a podcast and something that you do also. Any information you want to share about what you do?
you can catch me at Holla at Your Uncle podcast, available on all streams. That's Holla at Your Uncle. Um, every now and then I'm on the radio, Oak 93.5 FM. When I get time to do that, I'll be out there. And coming soon, I'll be on some stages for the summer. Any local comedy club that's going to be out there. So
Doing what, comedy?
yeah, stand up and then whatever film I'm filming at the time.
Okay. Well, we thank you for coming in and joining us. I definitely do appreciate you, and we'll be talking to you a little bit more once
Okay.
your wife to give us some closing comments so we can bring this to a close. So thank you for joining us today. How about you? If you had to close out with some closing comments, what would you tell the people?
Do it scared.
Mm.
And I'm still working on, again, because I still have my issues. Try not to care what people think. I I still care what people think. I'm learning slowly, I guess one person at a time, not to care what people think. Because people don't really know your story. People don't really know your struggles. People don't have an idea what it takes to get to where you got to go or where you want to go. So one of the things is, and again, do it scared, try new things. You never know where it takes you. Try to find your tribe, a good support system. People that will love you genuinely for you with all of your flaws and imperfections, because in those moments when you are in a dark place and you don't feel so sure about yourself and you're not loving yourself, I've been blessed to have those people in my life, and there's so many that have been able to tell me who, because sometimes you don't know who you are.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm honest. Sometimes I know who I am, and there are days that I don't know who I am. Okay.
Okay.
And I've been able to be blessed to have people in my life who remind me of who I am, who remind me of all the gifts that I can share, or and
you're
it's hard.
gifted. I'm reminding you, you're gifted. So what can we look for next? What next for you?
Well, so what I got coming up this month that's really awesome. So I'm working with Niger, and she's a fabulous model, and she has a modeling class called The Lab. So I go every week, and of course, I put in my little, my little practice to get better in my walk with my back issues and everything. I'm not as great as most of these models, but I do my best. But Niger really brings the best in me, and of course I can't disregard the other classes that I've taken with Theo, even with Miss Kelly Cunningham, even with Alba. I've been able to share and take a little bit from everyone. But with Niger, we're working on a model shop to help these new beautiful young upcoming models how to set up. We're going to do a class on March 24th. That campaign will be coming up soon, but there we're going to discuss, runway, what to pack a model bag, and I will be the makeup artist for the day, where I'll have the amazing Carmen, who's going to be my model. So this way I will teach the girls or young men who want to learn how to do their own makeup. Because to be honest, not all show productions provide a makeup artist on deck, or
Right.
even if they do, depending on the amount of models that need the makeup, they may not get to, these models there. So I want to be able to bring them or give them just that little tidbit of how to do their own face. So we're going to discuss all those things. They're going to have they're going to walk, have a class. They're going to have their comp cards made, because that is another thing that's important, to come in with your comp cards at auditions. So Roger is providing pretty much a very full package deal. And again, that campaign is going to come out in the next few days. So
well, I certainly do. I certainly appreciate you sharing that. Yeah. I am about to close out because we're about to hit that hour mark, and I want to keep it under hour so I can keep this recording and reshare this recording, because if I go over an hour, I have to get into a lot of editing that I don't want to have to get into. So I'm trying to learn to keep it under the 60-minute mark so I don't have to do the editing. I look forward to seeing you out there. Let's get back together and keep doing what you're doing, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. How can people reach out to you?
Well, you can reach out to me through my platforms. I keep it really real. Karina Beltre on Facebook, Karina Beltre on Instagram, and Karina 507 on TikTok. I don't do what is that called? Twitter. I don't do that. But again, I'm a message away.
All right. Well, I thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us today. God bless you. I am so excited, and we appreciate you. I love you. I'm proud of you. And we'll see you next time. And we will certainly let us know when your next show is. We'll be there.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Take care. And you keep doing what you're doing. Okay. And I'll send me your information so I can add it to this post. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for being here. This is another episode of Storytime. Catch me tomorrow on the Evening Experience. Catch me tomorrow on the Evening Experience on Instagram, and we'll be back for Storytime Sunday at 8 p.m. Keep hope alive. Remember, I am your girl, Crystal Bodie Smith. My mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives. We'll see you next time. That has been Karina and her husband, and go back and do the replay, and you definitely have to hear her amazing story. Have a good evening. Thank you.